He chose the offer everyone warned him about. Everyone told him it was a mistake. The kind of decision people regret quietly years later. But something about it felt impossible to ignore. Career choices rarely arrive with certainty. They arrive disguised as risks, wrapped in doubt, surrounded by other people's fears. And today, more than ever, professionals face decisions that don't come with clear answers. Stable paths feel safe, but stagnant. Bold paths feel exciting, but dangerous. This story matters because millions of careers hinge on moments exactly like this one. To understand how one decision reshaped everything, we have to go back to a moment that looked ordinary on the surface. A job offer appeared at the wrong time, from the wrong place, with the wrong reputation. On paper, it paid less. It offered fewer guarantees. And it came from a company most people didn't trust yet. At first, his career looked like a success story. He followed the expected route. Strong education, a respectable role, predictable promotions, the kind of trajectory parents feel proud of and recruiters understand instantly. Every step made sense. Every move was approved by logic. But slowly, something shifted. The work felt repetitive. Growth became incremental instead of meaningful. Meetings replaced momentum. And the excitement that once fueled long nights and ambitious goals faded into routine. He wasn't failing. He was drifting. Then the offer arrived. It didn't come with prestige. It didn't come with reassurance. Friends questioned it. Colleagues warned him. Some laughed it off as reckless. Others framed it as career suicide. Walking away from stability, they said, was something people only did when desperate. But the offer represented something else entirely. A chance to build instead of maintain. To learn faster than comfort allowed. To trade certainty for possibility. And for the first time in years, the fear he felt wasn't draining. It was energizing. Still, doubt lingered. Leaving meant losing status. Explaining himself over and over. Accepting that success might look smaller before it became bigger. And the question kept returning, late at night, quietly and persistently. What if everyone else was right? The doubts didn't disappear after the decision was made. They multiplied. Once he accepted the offer, reality moved fast. The title changed. The salary dropped. The safety net vanished. Suddenly, he was a person others whispered about. The example people use when warning younger colleagues about impulsive choices. Even small conversations carried weight. Every question felt like judgment disguised as curiosity. The new role demanded everything at once. There were no clear systems, no proven playbook, no one to hide behind when something failed. Mistakes were visible. Progress was messy. Some days felt like movement. Others felt like regression. And for the first time in his career, effort didn't guarantee results. The workdays stretched longer than before, but without the familiar markers of success. No polished presentations. No praise-filled performance reviews. Just raw problems and unclear solutions. He learned quickly that ambition without structure can feel overwhelming. Freedom, he realized, comes with its own pressure. Friends stopped asking how things were going. Family conversations grew careful. The silence around his choice grew louder than criticism ever had. At night, the question returned with more urgency. Had he confused excitement with purpose? But beneath the anxiety, something subtle was changing. His learning curve accelerated. Skills stacked faster. Decisions mattered more. He wasn't just executing tasks anymore. He was shaping outcomes. Every challenge demanded judgment, not permission. Still, the risk remained very real. The company missed targets. Funding conversations stalled. Rumors circulated quietly. Stability, once taken for granted, now felt distant. He watched former colleagues advance, announce promotions, celebrate milestones. Meanwhile, his own path looked uncertain and fragile. There were moments he almost stepped back. Moments when comfort felt tempting again. When returning to safety seemed logical, even wise. But each time, something stopped him. Because for the first time, his career felt alive. And that realization made the uncertainty harder to escape. The real test didn't arrive all at once. It unfolded slowly, then suddenly. As months passed, the cracks widened. Missed deadlines turned into missed expectations. Pressure increased from every direction. Leadership changed priorities weekly. Teams reshuffled. Promises made early on quietly dissolved. What once felt like momentum began to feel like instability. He started questioning his instincts, not publicly, quietly, in moments between meetings, during long commutes, while watching messages go unanswered. Confidence eroded in small, almost invisible ways, the kind that doesn't break you immediately, but wears you down over time. Then came the turning point. A major project failed. Not partially, completely. Weeks of effort unraveled in a single review. The room went silent. No blame was assigned, but none was needed. He felt exposed, responsible, replaceable. For the first time since accepting the offer, regret felt heavy enough to stay. That night, the fear finally caught up. Savings calculations, backup plans, the uncomfortable realization that belief alone doesn't protect you from consequences. This was the cost no one could fully explain beforehand. The emotional weight of standing alone behind a risky decision. But something unexpected followed. Instead of retreating, he leaned in. He stopped chasing approval, stopped comparing progress. He focused on solving problems no one wanted, took ownership where others hesitated, asked questions that felt uncomfortable, offered solutions without guarantees. Slowly, perception shifted, not dramatically. Subtly, he became the person others relied on when uncertainty appeared, the one who stayed calm when plans collapsed, the one who understood the system because he had lived inside its failures. The work was still hard. The risk didn't disappear, but his role changed. He wasn't surviving anymore. He was shaping direction. And for the first time, leadership noticed. Opportunities followed responsibility. Influence followed trust. And the same people who once doubted the decision began asking how he managed the pressure. Yet the conflict wasn't over. Because just as things started improving, a new question emerged. One far more unsettling than failure. What happens when the risky choice actually starts working? And whether success would demand an even greater sacrifice. Success didn't arrive with applause. It arrived quietly, disguised as responsibility. The company stabilized. The product improved. Momentum returned. And without realizing it, he had become essential. Decisions flowed through him. Trust followed his judgment. The risk that once felt reckless now looked intentional, even visionary, from the outside. But the cost was real. Long hours, constant uncertainty, the emotional weight of being needed. He had traded comfort for growth, but growth demanded everything in return. And that was the moment he finally understood the truth no one explains clearly. There's no safe path, only familiar ones. The career he left behind would have protected him from failure, but it would have protected him from transformation too. The offer everyone warned him about didn't guarantee success. It demanded evolution. It forced him to become someone capable of handling more than he thought possible. Looking back, the decision wasn't about money or titles. It was about choosing a path that accelerated learning instead of approval, one that replaced certainty with meaning. And that choice reshaped not just his career, but how he measured success itself. Today, his story isn't unique. It's increasingly common. As industries shift faster and stability becomes fragile, more professionals face the same crossroads. Stay where you're safe, or step into something that forces growth before comfort. The outcome is never guaranteed, but the direction you choose determines who you become along the way. Subscribe to join the journey. He chose